Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. I am joined by Jordan, Phil, and Seth is in hot, back from his 49ers little expedition he went on watching his Seahawks play. I think he had an okay time. Phil is back finally. Jordan, how are we doing, Jordan? You hanging in there? You have a good Sunday?
No, bad Sunday. Well, I mean, it wasn't bad like I had a bad day, like life-wise, but gambling-wise, bad Sunday. So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it went from like one of my better Sundays last Sunday to probably my worst Sunday of the year this Sunday. So,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I was close in a couple plays that I could have had a really nice day, but just didn't quite work out how I would like it to. I think it was kind of a good week for young quarterbacks, is what I would say. Some young quarterbacks, maybe not all.
Like two-thirds young quarterbacks is what you're saying, right?
Two-thirds. Like, I'm so proud I brought Zach Wilson out of retirement. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, here he is right here. He's waving at you. Wish I wouldn't have taken him out of the box because I think he might be back. I don't know. Had a decent game and a little storm up there in New York. Jordan, you don't think that was a good look for Zach Wilson, Jordan? I thought he looked good.
Yeah, sure. I didn't watch much of that game, so
that
wasn't one of the games I thought I wanted to watch. So
that's
I was glad they won, though.
Yeah,
I'm glad they won. Helped the Jaguars. So
yeah, he was QB 13 on the week so far. Had 19 fantasy points. Garrett
probably
Wilson,
better than Josh Jobs. Trent told me how great Josh Jobs was, and
Mm-hmm.
I picked him up. I've started him, and now he's gone to die. So
no, I know. We said you were the curse. Like I said, Jordan, you were the one who did it because you hated him so much and you picked him up.
Should have started Baker.
That game was so rough. That Raiders-Vikings game. It looked like I saw a tweet I saw on Twitter. A guy said, "Oh wow, looks like the Twins won." That's a baseball team, Phil.
Yeah. I got it. We're missing a big. I mean, that's probably the best thing that Seth had over the weekend. I mean, he probably enjoyed the game with his brother going to see the Seahawks. It was a bummer that they lost, but I'm sure. I don't think Trent cheers for the Dodgers anymore. But Seth, you're still a Dodgers fan. You pretty excited about the trade?
Speaking of, there you go. There's the shirt right there.
Repping.
Yep. Shohei, 10 years, $700 million. Talk about a payday, man. Holy smokes.
Did you go change shirts, Seth?
No, I had just had this shirt under because it's the same blue as like the throwback Seahawks blue, so I just wore it like an undershirt.
Okay, nice.
And we have Trent Kringle back there with the check us out on YouTube. He's got his Christmas tree pointed the wrong direction there. It is mirrored, Trent.
Just harping down Christmas cookies right now.
I wish.
Hot cocoa on the other hand.
I have seen it's been a rough day today. Like fantasy wise, it was good. Garrett Wilson propelled me into the number 1 seed in the league. So that was nice. He had a real good game today. And DJ Moore, those two guys kind of carried me, even despite Jared Goff playing absolutely terrible. But since I've been up since 3 a.m. and it's just been, my eyes can't unsee what I've been seeing. I've have a sick child, so that is why I'm in the house. There's been I guess you could say, buckets for bad things that have happened, but I'm hanging in there. That is the less graphic way to say it. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Lots of football.
And you had a big win. You had a big win just several. You didn't even touch on the win that you guys just had several hours ago.
Yeah, Dallas just won. It was actually a couple minutes ago. This is 9:00 West Coast. You'll be listening to it on Tuesday. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Yeah, big win for Dallas. Defense looked good, but it's kind of like what I said the first time the Cowboys played the Eagles. Like the Eagles beat Dallas the first time, but the Eagles fumbled the ball 3 times and recovered all their fumbles. Tonight, they fumbled the ball 3 times and didn't recover any of their fumbles. So very opportunistic defense. Dallas was tonight. Yeah, a lot of forced fumbles and just played good on defense. Kind of a letdown for the fantasy-wise of the game, except maybe if you're talking about CD. Pollard, I think, was okay, but Rico got the rushing touchdown. Yeah, Aubrey was the best play probably. Like you aren't happy if you played anyone on the Philadelphia side.
AJ Brown.
Did he didn't score a touchdown though. He did okay.
No, I think he didn't get the 100-yard bonus, but he had a good game.
Yeah. It's not a lot of points. How many points did Hurts finish with?
Not as many as you think. It's because like I think the only touchdown the Eagles scored was the defensive touchdown. I didn't watch like the last half of the fourth.
He had
quarter.
8.8.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, we got a doubleheader tomorrow, but like if that's kind of like the game closing out the end of the day, that and you're kind of sweating, right? You're hoping that you can have I mean, I was sweating. I have Hurts. I don't want to jump into who hurt me, but I had Hurts. Was hoping that he'd punch through a couple good points there and ended under 10, which was not ideal for my fantasy team. So
no.
That's a rough one in the Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening rather.
They only did one tush push. They actually did one third down. They got it, but they didn't even get in that formation. But yeah, I don't know. The Dallas defense is pretty good. And they had some drives that they might have scored on, but they got stripped. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a huge momentum killer. Like maybe if that early fumble doesn't happen by Hurts, maybe it's a totally different game. But yeah.
Well, and it's worth saying too, this Eagles defense is not good.
No, it's not that good.
They're not good. Like, I really think the Seahawks can win next week. As weird as that sounds, like, I really think they can win.
Jordan, go ahead, Trent.
No, what was it like watching Drew Lock in person, Seth? You know, I know that's probably what you were thinking you were going to get.
When we were there, like halfway there, I just saw the announcement pop up on my phone that Drew Lock's starting, and I was like, well, this is going to be a fun game, you know? And like, you know, after the first drive, I was like, wow, it looked pretty decent. And then after that, just the wheels fell off, you know, and you know, that last interception he threw to all that big fight. I mean, that was pretty fun. That was the most exciting part of the game, seeing that whole fight. It was cool.
Was there any fights in the stands, Seth?
No, but a bunch like the guys behind me were like faking they wanted to fight me, you know. They're like, let's join in, you know, and I was like, yeah. So it was fun.
Yeah, Seth did say he did vow that he was going to fight a Niners fan when he was at the game several weeks ago. I don't know if you remember that, Seth.
Yeah, I think he's still he's probably still asleep in the toilet, so I don't know. What?
Let's just finish. Let's just end that story right now. Chiefs game.
That's where I was going, and you interjected that, Trent. Chiefs game. Jordan, okay. I'm sure your boy Patrick Mahomes was very upset. Crazy play. He was getting kind of chirpy on the sidelines. Are you're his PR guy. Talk to us, like, you know, save him a little bit here.
What? Did you see he doubled down in the news in the post game press conference too? He doubled down and said that they took away a legendary moment from Travis Kelce with a ticky-tack call that they never should call.
I disagree with that. Like they call that when they line up offsides. Like
so,
it's literally an advantage.
I don't know how much you've like looked on Twitter, and there's been a lot of like stuff people saying that the refs never really call that, and they pretty much give you a warning if you're like they'll tell you, hey, you're lined up offsides, scoot back a little bit. Like,
was it possible that they were yelling that though?
I don't know. Andy Reid seems like a guy who doesn't really criticize refs for as much as Patrick Mahomes likes to. Like, and he came out and said that they threw that flag with no warning. Usually they give a warning if they're going to throw the flag, and they kind of let you like fix it yourself.
Yeah. Usually they point.
And Dan Orlovsky on Twitter said the same exact thing. He said if the refs didn't warn Toney about it, they should not have thrown a flag.
Yeah. I'm sure just looking at Toney, he would say that he probably got warned or didn't get warned. Like, no, but the thing is, he should point. Like they always point at the ref. You know what I'm saying? You always point and check, and he didn't check there.
So then someone else I saw, and I don't know how true this is, that I read somewhere else that someone said that the refs told Toney that he was fine, that he was lined up fine.
Then he would have just gone back and said like, hey, I just checked with you. There, like, if you know you're going in on a very important play, okay. I'm not a NFL athlete, as shocking as that might be, but if I am on an integral play of the game, okay, I am making sure that all of my T's are crossed and all of my I's are dotted. I am not leaving anything up for chance if that's the, and sure, maybe it was quick still, regardless of that, I'm going to make sure everything is perfect. Don't you agree with that, Jordan? As a coach, come on, my guy.
This is what Andy Reid said. Andy Reid said it's customary for a warning to be given in situations like Kadarius Toney's before a flag is thrown. It's never been required, but it is a standard. Was Toney offsides by rule? He was. Should the flag have been thrown without standard warning? No. RG3 tweeted that. So like there's just a lot of like different people who are like source. Well, I mean, but that's what Andy Reid did say.
Yeah.
He pretty much Andy Reid said that.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think like you should live off this precedent. I think it's fair, but also I think when it comes down to an integral part of the game where it's like, okay, hey, there's less than a minute left in this game and it's 4th and whatever. Like, I mean, if it's a penalty, you have to throw it.
Yeah, and everything has to be right as an offensive player, right? Don't you think, Seth? Like if you're going,
I know. I agree with both sides. Like I think I live in the middle. Maybe I live more on like it's a penalty no matter what. Like maybe refs should just throw it every time, and maybe guys won't be so bad about it.
Yeah, it's just.
But I do agree. Like it's dumb. Like it's a great moment. I was like, wow, that's amazing. They just won this game off a crazy play. It was cool, you know. And it's a bummer that it happened that way, but
we know Tracy Wolfson, right? Isn't she like one of the main sideline reporters?
She the Fox one?
Looking.
I think so.
Yeah,
so there's a Twitter account that has 10,000 followers. It's a Chiefs Hive or something like that, and it says Tracy Wolfson also confirmed Kadarius Toney checked with officials to see if he was offsides or not. Yet a flag was still thrown, and then another guy who works for Inside the NFL, Josh Cohen, he tweeted, "For what it's worth, I can confirm that Kadarius Toney looked at the sideline and pointed as he lined up. I cannot comment whether the official acknowledged or signaled for him to move back." So at least sounds like he did check.
Well, how could he not go back and be like, bro, I asked you? Like,
well, in that case, I think Kadarius Toney should make a public statement saying,
"That's what I'm saying.
I checked."
So,
because it only makes him look bad. It only makes Toney look bad.
It's just the thing that I think
if he checked, then it shouldn't be him at all. Like I would be like, I totally flip my stance. Like if he checked and said, "Hey, like, am I on or off?" and the ref didn't do anything and then threw a flag, I'd be like, "Bro, what?" You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I would totally do that.
Tracy Wolfson's a CBS reporter. Like if she's saying that, like that, I mean, she's not just gonna say that without having like some type of video evidence.
I wonder if there's like a pre-clip we can find, or if the
That's
NFL
what I'm looking for right now.
Already.
I can't find anything pre-snap.
Yeah, I have something pre-snap. It's a picture, but I'm not seeing anything that has the play him
where he's checking it.
Yeah, I can't find that at all,
which is weird because I feel like I'd be able to find that pretty quick. I would think.
Mm-hmm.
It might be on the it might be like on the all 20, like the NFL film they had, the coaches film.
Yeah, it's just weird though, because like on Twitter, stuff like that goes crazy. Like, look, here's Kadarius Toney pointing at the ref. Like, people videotape off their TVs.
But it may not have been on the TV, is what I'm saying, Trent. Is that it might have been on
it might have been too late.
Coach's film.
Yeah,
like
the clip, the official broadcast might not have him lining up.
Someone, yeah, I don't know when that all access film comes out.
Or like the CBS network might have the footage, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't on the actual.
Yeah, because those cameras are rolling the whole time. So hopefully, if he did point and that comes out and we see that, because then I would be like really mad. I'd be like,
yeah, absolutely.
The Chiefs deserve to win that game if the ref wasn't doing his job and paying attention when a guy's asking him. Like maybe it's not his job to acknowledge a receiver at all.
All right,
but you think, if he wants to be lined up correctly, it's hard to tell where the line of play, like where the line of scrimmage is, just from lining up at a receiver sometimes. Like you kind of have to ask.
Yeah. And it's just kind of annoying hearing Mahomes be the guy complaining about ticky-tacky calls. Like he's kind of like almost made a living off of this. Like the Super Bowl last year, there's a couple other ones too, but and I know this was a big win for the big game for the Chiefs and the Bills. Obviously, like the Bills had to win, but And it just kind of keeps leading to everything that's happened to Toney this whole year. Like I'm looking up on Twitter right now and it says, don't judge Kadarius Toney until you walk a mile in his shoes. And it's the clown shoes. That's like the number one thing on Twitter right now. And then it doesn't have like, I can't find him pointing yet.
This is so weird. So like, I'm trying to, all the tweets like have been deleted. So this guy who works for CBS, this Josh Cohen guy, I can't even find his Twitter now. I think he went like private, so you can't even search him. His bio says CBS Sports, NFL on CBS, Inside the NFL. I think he's like I'm looking at screenshots here on Twitter. He must be like a producer or something for them. And so he tweets, for what it's worth, I can confirm that Kadarius Toney looked the sideline appointed. I cannot comment whether the official acknowledges to know from him back. Tracy Wolfson quote tweets that with, I can confirm that he can confirm this. So that's where this whole thing is coming from. Two people who worked for CBS and probably have the access to like the raw footage, right? That's not all the cameras.
You think Roger just sent him a text or gave him a call?
No.
Put him in the back of a limousine?
That's what I said, dude. I'm like, this is getting buried in the NFL deep state right now. Like someone's getting showed up on at their hotel with a white van saying, get in. You know,
yeah.
Like,
I'm like Trent drives.
But I'll just say this. That was an elite move by Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
That's
awesome.
Really nice.
That's like elite NFL, like football IQ awareness to like have the wherewithal to turn around and just throw a pass back to Kadarius Toney.
He's done that before, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
multiple times.
With Trent,
yeah.
like that was
that
like a
was
20-yard
crazy,
pass.
It was a dart too.
Yeah, like it was on a lateral backwards. Like that was a.
I'm surprised Toney caught it. I'm surprised Toney caught it.
That would have been crazy if he just went backwards and then they just recover the ball.
Scoop and score.
Yeah. But my biggest argument to this whole thing is, Jordan, if the guy lined up offsides, why'd they let him run the play? Shouldn't that be dead?
I think it's like the equivalent to like an illegal shift type of deal because they don't blow it dead in an illegal shift.
Yeah, I usually thought like what is it when the offensive line jumps offsides? But I guess if you line up offsides, yeah,
it's a little different.
So that's where I thought was weird that it just didn't end, right? Like they just kept it going.
I would agree with you. You think they would whistle it dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they snap it.
Like if a guy lines up offsides on offense, I feel like that's automatic dead ball. Stop the play. Like
yeah, but offsides on defense isn't an automatic dead ball.
I know defense isn't, but like if a left tackle jumps, they blow it dead.
I think false start and is a little bit. I don't know.
I think you're right because I think there's been offensive like tonight in the Sunday Night Football game versus the Eagles. One of the linemen lined up offsides.
Yeah,
on the tush push. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, point proven right there. What else we got? Jordan, how like Jaguars, man? Like you were all excited. Trevor Lawrence doing his warm-ups. I'm pretty sure you were doing high knees in the living room this morning, getting ready for DFS, just pumped up. And then, apparently though, they've found the fountain of youth. It's in Cleveland, and Joe Flacco must be drinking the fountain of youth because he actually looked pretty good. 300 yards. 300 yards and 3 TDs. Like Joe Flacco, is he just there just in time? Like, what is?
I don't know how the Browns keep winning.
What is the Browns' ceiling? Like, they have a really good defense that they can hang with anyone. I feel like Flacco just has to play pretty good football. He doesn't have to do too much. Like, he is turning 39 in January, so he's getting up there.
He wasn't even a game manager. He put 31 points up.
I know, 300 yards against a good defense.
Dude's wild, man.
Jordan was crying the whole time.
Are we a Flacco pod, Phil?
We're turning into one, dude. If this ends with him at a revenge game against the Ravens,
exactly.
That's dangerous. I don't want to be in a revenge game against a quarterback who just threw 300 yards.
He has nothing to lose.
Flacco has absolutely nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
And his back's against
the wall. When do they play the Ravens?
I'm not sure. I know the Jags play the Ravens this week.
This is a storyline that Jordan is now interested in. That's how I know they do not play them again.
I was like, I don't think they play him again.
But no, who knows? It could end up being like first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Was it like 2 years ago when the Browns played was it the Browns and the Steelers played back-to-back weeks because they played in the wild card game?
That was so weird. Yeah. Well, did you see that? Yeah. Did you see that package they came out with Flacco?
Tell me about it.
The platinum package. It was not the platinum package. It was not the platinum 5.0 Ultra, which is from our sponsors, Manscaped, packed with tools, trimmers, and all the formulations your body could ever ask for. This luxury full body grooming kit has everything you need to stay on top of your manly rituals, including the Lawnmower 5.0, Weed Whacker trimmer, Crop Soother, Crop Preserver deodorant, and some magic mats. Go over to Manscaped, enter promo code DUDES20, 20% off your whole order. Get the new Platinum Package 5.0 Ultra. You will not regret it. I promise you that. I am not sure what package they ran with Joe Flacco, Phil. I just thought it was a good transition to give.
I knew you were going. That's why
you had no idea. You had no idea.
Yes, I did. I saw you change the little billboard there to Manscaped, and I was like, it's coming. I got to help tee him up. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, Flacco, though, with the running game and everything, I like. The Browns are a team, I don't think they win it all, but I think they're a team, like I've said for a couple weeks, that you don't want to play in playoffs because they're going to just rough you up. Defensive side of the ball.
And they honestly have an somewhat easier schedule. They got Bears, Texans, Jets, Bengals. 2 at home, 2 on the road.
Yeah,
he's thrown 5. He's how long has he been on the Browns?
2 weeks.
So he's thrown 5 touchdowns, which is the most. It's going to be hopefully it'll be the most touchdowns since 2018. He threw 6 in 2020 and 6 in 2019. But he threw 6 touchdowns, was his highest touchdown ever with the Jets, and then the next one is in 2018 at 12. Like that is just crazy to me.
Flacco's just having the time of his life right now. Like, hey, I've already won a Super Bowl. Like, it's either this or take my money. Yeah, it's either this or take my kids to school every day. Like, this is pretty fun. Like, let's just see what happens, guys. Like,
he's just trying to figure out how many more Christmases he can miss. Like the dude, right around the holidays, is like, "Yep, I'm coming back, baby."
I saw something that, like, after last week, he was able to get home in time to take his kids to school. Like, he was super excited. Like, it's just like, like he said, 39 next month. Like, he's just a guy that's just like, oh yeah, they probably call him. He's like, oh yeah, let me see if I still got it. Yeah, like, oh okay. Well, he was playing last year, right? Like
Uncle Rico.
Yeah,
this might just show how bad the Jets' offensive line is too.
No, it tells you how bad quarterback plays in the NFL. That Joe Flacco can rise from the grave and be good. That's how many bad quarterbacks are in the NFL. There's no good ones.
Yeah. What was Lawrence's final fantasy production today, Jordan? What was his?
I actually think he had a decent game fantasy wise. He had like 20 or something. I don't know.
Okay, so not terrible. And then
better than Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of guys better than Josh Dobbs. Desmond Ridder, like Jordan, your Drake London sleeper was a huge hit. I believe he was wide receiver
1,
2 behind Debo.
Yeah, Debo had 2 touchdowns, but he
had to be the leader. Yards. He had to be the receiving yards leader, though.
Yeah, it was like 172, I think.
172. Debo had 149. So, Drake London was wide receiver 2. Debo was wide receiver 1. Debo is on a tear right now.
Yeah.
I had so much Drake London in DFS, and it didn't even matter because everyone else just sucked.
Really? Because, Debo, this is back-to-back 30-point games for Debo Samuel. I don't know. Like, NFC South is a total mess, guys. I don't know where this is going to go. I have the most faith probably in Baker out of all those quarterbacks. Maybe
their defense isn't good though. Their passing defense is so bad.
But do you think the Falcons' defense is good? Like,
this division's a mess. It's a bad division.
And then what's wrong with Derek Carr? Like, that whole Like the whole Saints team, like it's just they will do whatever it takes to make sure Jameis Winston does not play.
Yeah, like at the expense of Derek Carr's brain cells, they're gonna play him instead of start Jameis Winston.
No, it's like Derek Carr cannot play this week. He is most likely out. Then it's like Saturday, like probably not going to play. Then Sunday, it's like Derek Carr has entered the building. He is going to warm. If he can warm up, he will play. And it's like, oh, okay, like it makes no sense.
If he has a pulse, he's playing.
Like I follow. Like I have Saints.
He's out there throwing with his left hand.
Yeah, I have Saints. I have a bunch of like Saints Twitter people in my feed. And it's like the people are like, why? What is wrong with Jameis Winston that like we can't see him play? Like, is he either that much better, or is it just he's not? Like, maybe he's
or
just
even
not
Taysom
good.
Hill.
I think he's that bad. Taysom Hill was out today.
Yeah, he was out today. But yeah, so maybe he's just that. The new coach is probably just like, hey, we got a good defense. We're not going to turn the ball over. I think that's what it is. Like take sacks.
And Jameis will YOLO ball all day, every day. He'll be throwing picks. He'll be throwing picks left and right. So that you're probably right, Trent.
I will say Derek Carr did have Chris Olave on a nice streak. And what's the corner's name over there that they got last year? Horn made a really nice play to hit that ball out of the air. And that would have been like a 50-yard TD to Chris Olave. That probably would have helped there. But yeah, that division is just a total mess. This is like the one where Ridder looked good today, Jordan. Like I know the Bucs defense is really bad
because the Bucs pass defense is so bad, so bad.
Yeah, is one of you guys playing away? Like you got chopsticks over there, Seth, or what are you doing?
I don't have anything.
Someone is just clicking away. Who is it?
Not me.
Jordan.
Not me.
It is Jordan. As soon as Jordan put his hands up.
What is that?
Are you one of you guys kicking under the desk or something? Kicking cords?
No.
Maybe it's my cord or something. No, it's not me. I'm not sure. It's got to be Seth. He has that mischievous look there.
I don't know. Maybe it's my wooden chair. I don't know.
No, I hear it again.
It's probably my chair. I think it's my chair.
Can you stop?
Mute yourself. Mute yourself real quick and do it.
All right. I'll keep doing it.
I'm sure this is what our fans really want. No, it's definitely Seth. I'm sure this is what our fans are tuning in to listen to. Not only NFL recap, but Seth's chair that needs, I don't know, WD-40 or whatever.
Yeah. One leg shorter than the other one's like common problem. Anyways,
we all struggle with that, I think, to some extent.
Raiders.
We talked about this game already, but yeah, sure. Let's talk about it a little bit more. Your namesake, Aiden O'Connell. Talk to us about it, Trent.
It's just so bad. You have Devontae Adams, you have Josh Jacobs, you have all those guys, and you can't. The game was 0-0 at half. This is the first time, and I can't remember what the year was that there were
into the fourth quarter.
0-0 going in the fourth quarter. Like Max Crosby's super mad. He's like, I hate losing. Like that guy played a great game. Raiders defense only gave up 3 points. But like the main thing in this, Justin Jefferson. Seth, I cannot focus with that thing.
I'm literally not doing anything. I haven't moved.
I don't know if it's Seth.
Are you in a rocking chair? Like, what is that thing?
I'm not moving.
I think it's Jordan. Someone's gonna get
me.
I don't hear what you guys are talking about.
It's someone's cords hitting like the anyhow.
Maybe it's me.
Jordan, talk to us about the Raiders game a little bit. I know you're a huge Josh Dobbs guy.
Justin Jefferson
0-0 for 90% of the game. They suck. Both teams are no good. Josh Dobbs sucks. The Raiders suck.
Justin Jefferson.
I want to talk about it.
How many phones were you throwing or whatever? Because you have Josh Dobbs. Like that was a playoff like implicate like.
I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose high point score in the league because of freaking Josh Dobbs. Golly.
No, it's no good.
Stupid.
It's no good. I'm sorry.
Trent, I heard a story about a matchup that you had this week where the person either that you're playing or are adjacent to took a picked up 5 quarterbacks that were available, and you ended up having to play with Russell Wilson. It ended up not being that terrible, but that was a strategy that was deployed against you.
Yeah, so we're in a league that just has not gone for me at all this year. Like I have Calvin Ridley, Trevor Lawrence, Bijan Robinson, Javonte Williams, just a terrible list of like, it's just like the all dead team basically. And basically if I won this week and this other guy lost, I don't get last place. If this guy won and I won, I would still get last place. So I had to win and I needed him to lose because he would have won the point tiebreaker. So he picked up all the quarterbacks off waiver wires. So I'd have no quarterback to play because I had Kyler Murray because I dropped Trevor Lawrence, because I wanted to set him free, like what Jordan should do with Dobbs. And so I had to start Russell Wilson, but it ends up I'm winning. I'm going to win and he's most likely going to lose. So I'm not going to have to shave my head. So yeah, it was pretty remarkable, and he's a listener of the pod too. So I don't know, maybe he won't listen anymore. So there's that.
Broncos, since the Seahawks are likely not going to make the playoffs, I guess this is probably a Broncos podcast too.
Yes.
The Lions losing to the Bears. What in the name?
I think the Lions are overrated.
Game. You think so?
Yeah.
What's going? You think so, Jordan?
I mean, that game was bad. The Lions did not look good. Their defense does not look good. Like, this is the exact opposite of what the Lions did last year, right? Because didn't last year they went on some crazy run to end the season?
Yes.
Like
and even the year before, right?
Yeah. Two games.
Before, no, they did not go on it. They won like 6 straight. Then they lost, and then they won 2 games.
But then, even the year before, I feel like they finished the year strong. I feel like the exact opposite's happening this year.
They're a
they
streaky
did not look
team.
Good.
Yeah,
they did not look good at all. Goff looked horrible. Granted, I think that Bears team is actually getting better as the year's going on. I think they're improving quite a bit. But the noise is back. Yeah, Lions might be a tad overrated, like the Jaguars are.
Jared Goff had 8 fantasy points today through 161 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. And I think Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Sam Laporta both were under 10 points combined. It was just really bad.
Yeah.
That whole everything was just they might be overrated, Jordan. I hope you're wrong. They also might be a team that is just a lot better in a dome.
That's a fair point, but
maybe they aren't as good in the elements.
I mean that's a good point. So I mean I can't disagree with that.
Jordan, did you have any Njoku in your DFS today? No Njoku?
I had him 2 out of 20 lineups.
Okay,
they were so not much. And I think those might have been my lineups I cashed in my 20 max. So
okay. What about Evan Ingram? Evan Ingram went off today.
No Ingram. I had some Njoku, I had some likely, but no Ingram.
Hey, I had Keaton Mitchell as my sleeper this week. I
almost had a bunch of Keaton Mitchell too.
I almost had Isaiah Likely as my sleeper, and Likely had a good game. He had I guess he really just had a huge touchdown in that game. And Rams took the Ravens to the wall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It went to overtime, and I didn't think that game was going to overtime after the Ravens scored right there at the end. But Rams are playing pretty tough. Stafford looks okay. Kyron Williams is playing good. Just a scrappy team.
They might eke their way into the playoffs there, Trent.
They might. They at least, I think they'll play the Niners tough. I don't think they can beat the Niners. Who do you think running back 1 on the week was, Jordan?
Rachaad White?
No.
Gibbs?
No. Oh, let me think about this.
McCaffrey?
No, it was not McCaffrey.
No.
It wasn't Rachaad White? He had to have been up there.
Rachaad White was running back 4, so there were 3 running backs ahead of him.
Well, okay, hold on. Did they play today or
with
no?
The D?
It's Zeke.
He didn't play today. You always confuse me with these.
Week 14. Sorry, week 14.
I know, but I don't. It's Thursday was a long time ago. Lots happened.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, Zeke was RB1 on the week. So
interesting.
Talk to us more about that.
Who was 2 and 3,
Trent?
James Cook was 2, and Breece Hall was 3.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's in a half point and a
half point PPR, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
he had that he really made a big play on that tackle, Trent. I know you're proud of his effort
tackle.
there.
I had to share that. I was so proud,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything? What else you guys got here on this day? You want to jump into who hurt you, divas? What are you thinking? Is there any other news you want to talk about? Puka still lighting the world on fire, I feel like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else that's really worth mentioning here, guys, but other than divas and stuff like that. Where I don't know what you're thinking.
I nailed all my
that are
start.
Definitely out of the. Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
No, I just want to tell you, I nailed my start, sit, and sleeper this week, Trent. For what it's worth.
You want to recap those for me real quick?
Yeah, well, Cortland Sutton. I wouldn't say I nailed Cortland. What Cortland Sutton end up with?
He had a really nice TD.
Yeah. What did he end up with?
He ended up with 13.7, Jordan. Half point PPR.
Yeah, so it's like it was solid, but like the Nico Collins sit was money. And the Drake London sleeper was money.
And that was really good. You went 100%. My starts and sits here, I had Calvin Ridley as a sit, and what did he end up finishing with?
Probably less than 10.
I think he had 7 fantasy points, if I believe so, 7.30. And then I had Keaton Mitchell as a sleeper. He also only had 7 points. And then Brandon Cooks. This one was frustrating because he dropped a touchdown. It would have been a really tough catch, but he dropped a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And then he got tackled on the 1-yard line. So he finishes with 4 fantasy points. Yeah, it was like the half-yard line. So like this seemed like one that he maybe could have had 2 touchdowns, and he got 4 fantasy points. So definitely did not hit that one there. Seth, you had Zach Moss, Kenneth Walker as a sit, and Roshan Johnson as a sleeper.
Yeah. So technically, I guess Kenneth Walker is the only one that was good. I mean, he just came off injury, played the 49ers. I think Charbonnet was the one who actually did the damage, on 2 plays. But the 49ers defense is good. They'll stop running backs, make you throw the ball, and then they'll just make plays off that. Zach Moss actually got the amount of load he got last week, actually got more featured in the passing game, but he was just stopped. I think he had double-digit carries for like 20-something yards, so not very good, just stifled. So I took the L there. And then Roshan, I mean, I just took off from what I had last week of him having like 75% snaps, and then this week he had 1 carry. So that one was a complete, I guess, just shot in the dark. But
so I'm looking at my lineups here today. Quentin Johnson had 10 fantasy points. I picked him up this morning as just like a flyer of someone that might be someone I want to play next week, because I was like, I'm kind of tired of like Jahan Dotson. Did he get those points when Herbert left the game, or was it just one? It was one.
He had like a 60-yard bomb.
Okay,
he caught.
And then Herbert. So Chargers season is over. Officially over.
It was already over. It was already over.
You can't even like your fantasy teams though, like done now, like probably the most frustrating team. Probably should just sat Herbert out after the first finger injury. Eckler's a mess.
He finally had a good game though.
Eckler did?
Yeah. One of his better games of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're mad if you have Keenan Allen though,
Yeah. Eckler finally had a good game now that Herbert's Allen, sorry, I said Eckler. Yeah, now that it's close to pay time. I kind of expected that to happen a little bit on Wednesday when Staley came out and said like we're going to use whatever running back we have. Like he basically said it was going to be a committee. So like it seemed like that might just be something that fires Eckler up a little bit. Maybe he plays a little bit better. I don't know. That whole team is so confusing.
Yeah, I would imagine Eckler's receiving game with Easton Stick will be a lot. Like the role will be a little more solid. Just
true.
But I mean, also I wouldn't be surprised if they shut Eckler down. We'll see. There's 3 games left in the regular season. 4. What do we got? We got 4 games left, right?
4 games left.
Yeah. Playoffs are starting this week, so waivers.
When did the
and all
Saturday
that
games
stuff
start? Did the Saturday games? Did they skip
this
those
Saturday?
this year?
We got a 3-game slate this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what
Triple header.
That's the. I wasn't sure if they were going to still do it because they did a bunch of those games in Thanksgiving. So I was wondering if they were going to be able to spread it out. But that's kind of nice. I always appreciate those games.
Yeah, it's good, except when they're bad because I'm just so used to watching NFL football on the weekend, being able to switch between them. When you're locked in on one, I guess some football is better than no football. Jake Browning,
you know what the season's about.
Real quick, Trent, you know who we get on Thursday Night Football this last Thursday? We had Bailey Zappi and Mitch Trubisky. You know what quarterbacks will get this Thursday?
That actually was an underrated game, like fantasy wise, like Patriots side.
Got Easton Stick and Aiden O'Connell.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna see if there's anything on Sleeper right now on passing yards. Just see what the line is after this pod.
I guarantee there's not.
Just smash the under.
Under. Aiden O'Connell is streaky sometimes. Sometimes he puts up some numbers, but
the Raiders actually might do good against his. Yeah, exactly.
Chargers pass defense is horrible. So
yeah,
you never know.
No, that's a good call there, Jordan. So I might just, be following that on my phone on Twitter. And if it gets interesting, I'll pull it up and actually watch it. Phil, you seem a little quiet there today. Are you doing okay, buddy? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I was, I'm getting I'm not feeling so hot. So which I think is just shocked that I'm still on the podcast.
It is
I think
shock.
most, I think I think the fans hopefully will appreciate that I'm powering through whatever little, I don't know what happened. I was out in the cold air and I started to get a little headache after after a little Christmas pageant that I was at.
You're kind of one of those guys that, like, if someone says like, "Hey, I have a cold," like all of a sudden you have one too, though. Would you say that's right?
No, I would not say that that's right. I would say that that's inaccurate.
Well, Trent said that he wasn't feeling good, and like 5 seconds later, you're like, you know what? I'm actually not feeling very good either.
Ooh,
sometimes
we're not even in person, Phil, and you're still.
I was just trying to build rapport with the guy that I'm talking with. Okay, I'm just trying to, let him know like, hey, we're all in this together. We'll work through it. I'm trying to support him. I also gave him some tips, which he was like, just blatantly turned down for no reason. I was like, all right, sure, do whatever you want.
Phil's like, hey man, you should always wash your hands. And I'm like, Phil, like seriously, I'm not 12.
No, I guarantee Seth agrees with my dad tips. I should probably start giving more of those out. Before the podcast, I was giving Trent some fatherly advice, and he just completely disagreed with me. I really like Jordan on Sleeper, the Jordan Love's 20.5 completion for tomorrow. I just went over to our good friend Sleeper. What do you think about that one?
Promo code dudes100. They'll match you up to $100, guys. What do you think, Jordan? I like
so
the Jordan.
He's been on. Yeah. So the last from game 10 onwards, he's been 21, 27, 22, 25 at 20.5. That seems pretty comfortable. No.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's good.
I don't think they know how to gauge him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still don't know if they know like the right line for Jordan Love yet.
Yeah,
he's been playing. So
well, I think it just kind of depends on what Jordan Love shows up as. Like if he shows up like how he's been playing, like he's gonna do really well. But he shows up like how he did at the beginning of the season, you're gonna be like, oh, you know.
My only concern is that defense is so bad for the Giants, they just run the ball a bunch. That's kind of my only concern.
Yeah. Seth, I was at a Christmas party with Seth. He kind of looked like Tommy DeVito. That was kind of cool, Seth.
And Trent just dressed up like himself, so it was very weird and very normal for a Trent. So
Danny DeVito,
DeVito, Danny D.
Mm-hmm. I dressed up for this party. I dressed up like it was part of my heritage, So it was like one of those parties, and we were Italy because I'm Italian, and I was like one of those little gondola guys, in Venice. So
you'd be good at that, Seth. Honestly,
I probably would.
He'd get gondola rage.
Seth, talk to us about your road trip today.
Just start hitting the other gondola with the stick.
That was such a good underrated joke.
People with water.
Seth, talk to us about your road trip. So did your brother make you drive, or are you just on red zone the whole time, just plugging away?
Oh no, my brother drove, and so I just, with the Apple AirPlay, you can just hook up to the thing. I just did directions, put on just put on the football game, put my sweatshirt on the dash, and propped up my phone, and we watched the games while he drove. So
you lectured Jordan for filming a video while driving, and you're like having your brother watch Red Zone while you drive.
Well, I mean, it's like in the center of the screen, Jordan was like looking over at his computer like this, that's pretty distracting. Where it's like
this, so you know, when you don't talk in the mic, people can't hear you good.
Okay, well, Jordan was like this. So imagine my head's turned. I'm looking straight. Okay,
no,
now
I
Jordan's
did
like,
not do that.
Hey guys,
That's
how's it going?
not
I'm
what
on my way to
happened.
Arizona.
He's a teacher. He's got eyes on the side of his head. He sees it all. That's why he felt a little bit more. Yeah, that's just those teacher traits. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into who hurt you guys. Okay, guys who hurt us this week. I needed 4 more yards from Justin Fields. Have a nice sleeper play to hit. That'd have been nice. He didn't get there, and then just to rub salt in the wound, he takes a kneel down, so it goes down even less. So that was unfortunate. Other guys that maybe hurt you is Keaton Mitchell is another one that comes to mind. What do you have, Jordan? I have a list of some guys here.
So yeah, I mean the Fields one.
Jerry Goff. You want to throw that one on there?
Throw Jerry G.
That didn't hurt me, but no. So in DFS, I pretty much had three running backs. Like I pretty much built around these 3 guys. They were all in awesome spots: Zach Moss, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, and that's why the day was so bad. Like those 3 guys are just hurtful, very hurtful. Like CMC got 20 points, not enough for how much he is. Zach Moss the guy was just getting carries and just can't do anything with them. I think I saw a stat that he has like 10 carries in the last 2 weeks in the red zone and has 0 touchdowns. He got a touchdown today, got called back for a hold. And then Kamara just he was in a smash spot and just didn't get there. So
when they were up, they just gave every carry to Jamal Williams after that. Yeah.
So didn't hit his prop. Those 3 guys. I had a good amount of Drake London. I had a good amount of DJ Moore and Justin Fields. Josh Allen could have done better. Like the Buffalo receivers didn't help me, but those 3 running backs. When you play Kamara and CMC, you're basically hoping when they combine for a quarter or a fifth of your salary or a quarter of your salary, you need you need 40 to 50 out of those guys, and I got 33. It's just
it's a bummer. They if CMC was on that touchdown streak they totally would have gave him that one after the first play, and they just had what's his face come in and just steal that one. So Jordan Mason or whatever, I don't know.
DeAndre Swift has not been good lately, guys. He has not scored.
Well, the Eagles are down in games. They have to throw.
Yeah, he's been hasn't double-digit points since week 11.
It's because he's not even playing as much as he was. They're using Gainwell a lot more. Boston Scott's more in the mix.
Yeah, because Eagles have to throw the ball now because they're down in games so much.
Here's one that probably hurts you pretty bad. Riley Patterson. 0 fantasy points. He's a kicker, but Lions kicker, you probably expected to get a couple points, and you get the goose egg there. That's no fun.
So Trent, in our dynasty league, we're all in.
Yeah,
I thought I was guaranteed to win this thing, and I just looked, and I am not going to win because I played Brandon Aubrey, who had 22 points, and Riley Patterson had 0. That was our kicker matchup right there.
Oh yeah, how close is it?
It's not really close. He's
because of that.
Yeah, he's down 2 and he has Saquon. So or no, sorry, Derrick Henry. So you know what? Derrick Henry could put up a 1-point game. It's in his wheelhouse. It's possible.
It's in his wheelhouse. That's for sure. Other guys who hurt you, maybe Justin Jefferson. He's finally back. You've held on to him this whole entire season, and then he just that was a nice hit. That was a nice and it was a clean hit too. I thought watching it. Justin Jefferson, the whole Raiders Vikings game. T. Higgins decided to finally play okay. Jamar Chase was not good. I think he only had 4 fantasy points. Lots of just really bad quarterback play. You guys have anyone in your just daily matchups who just kind of messed you up? Like just looking at this.
Like Diggs wasn't good. I'm looking at my dynasty league. Diggs wasn't good for me. Let's see.
Kincaid didn't play very well.
Josh Dobbs, Trent again for the 5th time on the spot.
I understand.
And you know what? Jamar Chase didn't do much for me either. Yeah, Sam Laporta, man.
Patrick Mahomes only had 14 fantasy points. Honestly, that Bills Chiefs game was kind of a letdown other than that drama. Like, I guess Chiefs side of the ball, Mahomes had 14. Maybe Rice had a decent amount of points, but like, maybe it's not. I don't think Diggs did that good, though. What was Diggs' fantasy points?
Diggs had like 4 points.
Yeah. So, outside of Allen and James Cook, that was kind of where the majority of it went. Randall Cobb had a touchdown today. That just for a fun little fact there. Yeah, I don't know, like just brutal. Seth, you don't have anyone that hurt you? You know, maybe your brother on the road trip home out of anger?
No. I mean, maybe Geno Smith for not freaking playing. I don't know.
Was there at any point on that trip, Seth?
What?
Did Deebo Samuel hurt you a little bit? Oh, go ahead, Trent.
No, was there any point in that trip, Seth, where you're just like, hey, let's just hit a U-turn and go back?
No, what was funny is someone like offered to like buy the tickets off us and like go watch the game. And at first I was like tempted and I was like, no, like I should go. Like it'd actually be like I don't know, the Seahawks played good last week, you know, like I should like probably go. And then like it was just bad. So now I'm like, oh, whatever.
Before you left or at the stadium, Seth?
No, before I left.
Okay.
So yeah. I have a relative who's a big 49ers fan. So
I'm sorry.
Phil, you said Jalen Hurts was a guy you had?
Hurts. Yeah, just Jalen Hurts. It was I had it pulled up here. What did he end up with? He ended up with 8.88 points. Definitely needed him today. Not used to that low of points, but
I'm looking at a matchup here in a dynasty league, and this guy, there's a lot of game left, but Justin Herbert only had 2 fantasy points. Josh Jacobs, another guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans had 1 fantasy point. Like, I'll give him a shout out. Our buddy Aaron, you know, he had all those guys. Yeah, he had all those guys. So like,
poor guy was playing me. So
poor. And honestly, we all would have rathered Seth to have not won there because Aaron.
Am I going to snake into playoffs now?
You might snake in, and then I think that's kind of all I have for that on who hurt you. Do we want to hop into divas here?
I actually am going to snake in because Phil's going to lose.
Yep. I will say that I have been called out more times this week about my soda pouring out. Today at church, someone hit me up about pouring out half my soda to save calories. And I just feel like I'm getting ridiculed a little bit too much for that. So I would say, Trent, you're my diva for airing my dirty laundry on air. And for
you are the most frugal guy I know. So it like shocked me that you were dumping half a soda out. Like that is so wasteful. And it
would have made you mad if I poured the rest in a Ziploc bag to save for later. So I didn't do that.
No, that'd been better. Yeah. Ziploc. They have this new thing where it's called. I shouldn't bring this up.
Have you done that before, Phil?
No, absolutely not.
Have you seen that thing where guys do now? It's beer pants and they just dump the beer on their pants and like that's all. I sent it to Phil and I said you would have dumped half of the soda on your pants and drank the other half. Like if Phil would have dumped half of it on his pants.
Is it like how to lose weight? It's like an ad, right? It's like how to lose weight with
It's like the ad, but guys they like just dump it. It's like a joke. I could see Phil doing that with only half a soda. Like if he'd done half of the soda on himself, I'd been like, hey, you're cool, man. Just don't sit on the clock couch.
You aired my dirty laundry on air. So you my friend or acquaintance, you my acquaintance are the diva. And I can't believe how many people are up in arms about this when I'm basically out here giving people financial advice, hygiene advice, health advice, and good advice. It's not like people favor this type of advice.
Phil was shocked that the pastor wanted to talk to him. He's like, I'm surprised he even knows his name. He's like, hey, Phil, like, you really just shouldn't dump your soda out, man. Like, there's people out there.
Yes. Although now I'm going to start sending Ziploc bags of soda to Jordan's house. I can't believe how much you laughed at that one.
Seth, what do you got, Seth? You know, I'm sure your brother drove because he's afraid you're going to cut somebody off or something.
Okay, I'll say this one. Like,
oh no,
I said this when I went to the Dodger game a couple months ago. It's just so I don't go like I want to try to go to at least like my favorite team's games, like at least one game a year. So like I want to try to go to a Dodger game a year, go to a Seahawks game a year. Like I want to try to do that. But I'm not used to like the live fans and like, yeah, sure, I get this at like high school games I go to. Like I'm kind of used to it, but like just hearing like random people behind you say defense in the weirdest voices is just so weird. Like the guy is like screaming, he's like, defense, Bosa, you can do it. And I'm like, shut up, bro. Like you sound like a loser. Like he literally said, defense, come on, Bosa, you can do it. I'm like, what? Just like, what are you saying? Like, I get it. Like, we're at an event, like, have fun. Team? No, I'm all for people having fun. Like, sure, these guys are having a great time, you know, and like they're nice guys, but like he's screaming in my ear, come on, Bosa, you can do it. I'm just like, dude, like the guy makes like 30 million a year. Like, of course he's gonna do it, you know, like he doesn't need to yell, come on, Bosa, you can do it.
I agree with you, Seth.
And it was like all four people behind me, and like there's just some people who don't understand penalties either. Like they waved off a penalty, and this girl behind me is like, "What?" You know, and it's like everyone's like, "No," like, and she's like, "Nope, that's terrible." And you're just like, "Oh my."
There's got to be like a certain row where it's acceptable to cheer or boo, but it's not acceptable to say something to a player or the ref. Like you'll be 40 rows up and a guy will be like, "You're a terrible ref." And it's like, you've just broken my sound barrier, but I can guarantee the ref did not hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no, for sure.
Like, yeah. So I agree with you.
Like I can't. When the Seahawks were kicking a field goal, you know, like the guys behind me, of course, are like, Jason Meyer, you suck, you know, and like it's funny. Like I do stuff like that too, you know.
There was literally 2 rows behind Seth left in the whole stadium.
No, I actually had pretty decent seats. But this guy's like, I think maybe Myers could have hurt him, you know, because like then he comes over to kick on the sideline and he's like practicing kicking after he just made the field goal. And he's probably like, I don't know, 30 yards from us now. And he's kicking into the thing. And the guy goes, "You still suck, Myers." And he like looked up at us and it was kind of funny. So
see, that's
all I know. Your brother's a good time, Seth. I don't care what you say.
I can't wait to go to Seth's baseball game this spring and yell, "Come on, Seth, you can do it."
Gosh. Yeah, I'll just get a foul ball and throw it at you.
Yeah. Probably hit yourself in the face again. Jordan, do you have anything here?
Nothing I can really think of.
Mahomes haters. I don't know. I don't think this one's not football related. I try to keep them football related, but like the week after Thanksgiving, the trash man took my trash. Like they have to roll my, I don't know, maybe this isn't good. They have to roll my trash because the truck can't make the turn at my house. So my house is the only house that they actually moved the trash to, you know, the street. So they moved it, but this is the week after Thanksgiving, you know, they never emptied the trash. So I had to go like 2 weeks with like no trash. It was like, you know, Survivor, like just like, what are we putting this trash, you know? Like
that's when you go drop it off at City Hall's front door.
That's what I thought about doing. Yeah,
like,
they moved it.
Pick up my
they
trash.
moved it, but they never emptied it. You know what I'm saying? So like I went a whole like week, and this is after Thanksgiving, so like my trash can's like basically overflowing. You know, like next time I will just take it to City Hall.
Well, actually, also both of you guys are divas. Like You guys are contemplating throwing trash on City Hall. I just called the place and said, like, hey, you guys missed me on your route. Come get my trash. And they will come out the same day and do it for you. Like,
I don't know.
These guys are like looking up the trash driver's address to like send their trash there. And it's like,
so this is how it
really
works.
You guys, hey, just do a simple Google search for, hey, what is the name of your trash company? Call them and let them know that they missed you and they will come back. I'd
rather dump it on their porch. We
live in a very small town, boys.
Let me explain myself. You know, you might want to put your tinfoil
so it was
hat
the day after
one,
Thanksgiving, and you could barely walk. You couldn't take your trash down a little bit farther.
No.
I'm turning on you because you are.
No. Here's the deal. My trash comes every Tuesday. That's just
Trent's on Kingsburg. He's on Kingsburg Facebook group cursing out his trash truck driver. It's like, guy. Just call the company.
Okay. My trash gets picked up on Tuesday. Thanksgiving was on a Thursday this year. Friday, they didn't work.
It's on a Thursday every year.
Friday, they didn't work. Saturday, the trash doesn't come on Saturday, Sunday. My trash comes on Tuesday. So by the time Tuesday rolled around, I asked my neighbor, I'm like, hey, they didn't get our trash. I call, and he's all, honestly, they're probably just backed up with the holidays. They'll probably get it tomorrow. I don't get off work till 3:30, Phil. So by the time I get home, I've already missed that day. You know what I'm saying? Like they pick up my trash at 12.
Do you not have access to a phone during
I thought they would come get it the day after is what I thought. So then Wednesday, by the time Wednesday rolls around, Thursday's when I'm going to call because, you know,
and you had people over too.
I had people over. Yeah. So I hosted 2 Thanksgivings at my house and had my trash just overflowing, you know, and here I am because here's the thing though, Phil, they moved the trash out to pick it up and then they just didn't get it, you know, so.
Oh, no, it's happened to me before too. But you know what I do? I just give them a call, let them know they missed me, and then they come back and pick it up.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah.
I will say I have problems with trash truck drivers. Absolutely. But I also just, you know, I make it right. And I'm not like Seth was about to dump trash at City Hall.
No, it also helps that like my grandma lives like right behind me, so I just use her trash whenever I need it. So
yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna start using that too. So
do it.
Anyways, I'm gonna stop at your doorstep. This pod, yeah, I think it's getting too late, guys. I don't know if there's anything else we need to touch on. We'll be back on Thursday for our fantasy football playoffs. You know, this is why we play the game, to bring home those championships. And Phil, I hope you get better, buddy. And Seth, I'll call you next time I have extra trash. Jordan, yeah, you did have a rough week, Jordan. You guys lost your basketball game. I saw that, so I'm sorry for bringing that up again. Don't know why I'm going there, but overall, guys,
just make it worse. Just what else can we tell Jordan to make it worse?
Yeah,
just keep rubbing at least
Trevor Lawrence probably had fun. Anyways, okay, guys, I will see you guys on Thursday, and as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.